My husband came home with this magazine the other day and he said to me, "You should read this. It's very interesting." And he thought that it might provide me with fodder for a future video because there's a part in it that talks about how human beings are programmed to only feel empathy for those in their own group. And he thought this might explain dog worshippers' reactions to us when we confront them about their dogs, when we tell them, "Hey, listen, your dog is making me miserable by barking all day." They will not respond with empathy or kindness. They will respond with hostility and aggression instead. So he thought this, it's very interesting. He said, "Read it." So I thought, okay. Yesterday, I picked up this magazine, I started flipping through it, and I came to this page, Kindness in Critters, with a picture of dolphins. And I thought to myself, are the authors of this article aware that male dolphins routinely gang rape female dolphins? There is so much about dolphin behavior that is not empathetic and not kind. So I thought right off the bat, this is really silly. But I bet I'm going to see something in this magazine about dogs. Sure enough, I flip the page and I see this. A picture of a dog that is clearly uncomfortable, trying to get away from this woman. You can see it in the dog's body. It doesn't want to be there. It wants to get away. And I remember reading about the different signs to look out for, signs that a dog is going to bite you. And I remember reading that when a dog is trying to get away from you, that is a sign that the dog is going to bite. I also see the whites of the dog's eyes, or the sclera of the dog's eyes. This is another sign that the dog is going to bite you. And I'm thinking to myself, here's this picture of a dog that's about to, rip this lady's face off, and she's hugging it like a moron. And this little caption underneath that dogs have been known to show empathy and kindness. And I thought, this is the most ridiculous thing. I cannot believe I am seeing this in Time magazine. Actually, I can believe it because the authors of these magazines, these journalists, all these people, these dog worshippers are publishing just this retarded bullshit constantly. And so I thought, and this was my second thought, if dogs are so kind and empathetic, why are they snatching babies out of their cribs on a regular basis to disfigure and kill them? Sleeping babies, okay? Babies sitting in car seats, minding their own business, sitting in their bouncy chairs, playing with their toys, riding their bikes. Why are dogs going after them and ripping them apart if they're so kind and empathetic? Why are these kind, empathetic dogs turning on their owners that raised them with love from puppyhood, right? Why are they attacking elderly people who are out going for their daily walk, minding their own business? Where's the empathy in that? Where is the empathy and the kindness in attacking school children that are stepping off the school bus or waiting at the bus stop or walking to school? Or this happens daily. Are these people just unaware? Or what is this? How do dogs have empathy when they are constantly trying to dig under fences, jump over fences, or in some cases break through fences to attack us? They are constantly harassing us, threatening us, raging at us from behind vehicle windows or fences when we are simply minding our own business, walking down the street. That's not kind. And if they had empathy, they would not behave in ways that cause us to feel fear and anxiety. Dogs are the opposite of kind and empathetic. Even dog worshippers will talk about how dogs can sense your fear. Oh, he attacked you because he must have smelled your fear. Oh, isn't that a kind and empathetic thing to do? What does an empathetic person do when they are in the presence of somebody who is afraid? Do they attack them? They do the opposite. They show them reassuring, comforting behavior. This is so stupid. How do they get away with publishing this nonsense? Anyways, so it's just, my immediate reaction is this is bullshit. Dogs don't feel empathy. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do is read the article. I read it. The article doesn't provide any evidence that dogs are empathic or empathetic. Those two words are interchangeable, by the way. I had to look that up this morning. Dog owners provide tons of anecdotal evidence, and they will often make the claims that their dogs are empathetic because, when I was on the phone and my sister died and then I was crying and my dog came over to me and it put its paw on my leg. It was trying to comfort me. Well, that's not evidence that a dog feels empathy. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to do some research. So I looked online and I found a bunch of websites that all make this claim that dogs show empathy. Most of these websites are referring to this study where they put a bunch of dogs in a room, well, actually one by one. Dogs were placed in a room. Behind the glass door were people. This door was held shut by magnets, and there were these people behind the glass door that were either humming a tune or whatever, or fake crying. Well, the dogs opened the door much quicker to get to the people who were fake crying compared to the other group of people that were humming. And this is their proof. This is proof of the dog wanting to help the person. Right, just like the dogs that try to help those owners who've had like epileptic seizures, and then the dog tries to help so much that they end up ripping the person's throat out. How often have you heard this? I've heard of multiple stories like this where the person's having a seizure and the dog kills them out of kindness. Just the other day, out of South Africa, there was a story of a dog that killed a child that started crying in their crib. And they're like, the dog was trying to help and it got carried away. Yeah, that's real helpful. It's real helpful. Anyways, opening a door quickly to get to someone who is fake crying is not evidence of empathy. The dog could be motivated by a number of other things. It could be predatory instincts. The dog's prey drive. If you haven't seen my video about bully breeds and genetic hyperarousal, please watch it. Even though dogs have been domesticated for thousands of years, they all retain the instincts of their wild ancestors. But in some dogs, like in bully breeds, for example, this instinct is stronger than in other breeds. And that is why they will get very excited when they hear or see something that resembles prey. Veterinary doctors, and I have shown this in multiple videos that I've produced. Veterinary doctors tell us that dogs are predators that have a prey drive that can be triggered by frenetic movements and high-pitched noises, such as the noises children make. They are triggered into attacking these people who are making these movements and making these high-pitched noises because in their primitive pea brains, they think that the person is a prey animal in distress. And there's, a fine line in between the excited jumping and licking and whatever and the actual sinking their teeth into something. But it all starts with wanting to investigate the source of the noise. And this investigation is not empathy. Do you see what I'm saying? I think that what happened in this experiment is that the dogs, responded to the sound of crying in the same way those dogs in that video about bully breeds respond. They get all excited. There's more of an urgent need to investigate the source of the crying, because they're predators, and this reminds them of a prey animal in distress and that they want to get to it. So that's what I think is going on. So I thought, I'm going to do some research and I'm going to make a video about empathy and dogs and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, you know what? This is so idiotic. Even if the dogs do feel empathy, which I'm sure they don't, and I'm sure that the researchers are just, putting out these... They're jumping to conclusions. The claim is made that because dogs respond to people's emotions, that this is suggestive of empathic like comfort offering behavior. What? How do you make that assumption? And they're telling dog worshippers what they want to hear. They're telling themselves what they want to hear, because nobody is immune to this mental illness, this as yet undiagnosed mental illness that causes people to deny facts about dogs. The fact is, dogs are predators. This is an indisputable fact. It's not my opinion. How successful would a predator be if it had empathy and compassion? It would die. It wouldn't survive it because it wouldn't want to kill for survival. Predators, by their very nature, need to be lacking in empathy. It's a requirement. Otherwise, they would just crumble under the weight of their guilt and terrible feelings of empathy for the victim. They can't have these feelings or they wouldn't survive. These dog worshippers cannot see what is so glaringly obvious to the rest of us. It's a mental illness that keeps them from seeing how disgusting this creature is with its eye boogers and its constantly wet, snotty nose that it's constantly licking, constantly lapping up the snot. It's a mental illness that causes them to look at images like this and think, oh, how cute, how funny. This is revolting. It causes them to be blind to evidence and statistics and just common sense. Like, these dog worshippers are so deranged, but scientists and researchers are not immune to this. They themselves are deranged. This illness does not discriminate, and people can be very smart and educated and still be dog worshippers and not see the truth about dogs and just be so delusional. But I thought to myself, why do people need to believe in or receive empathy from a member of a different species? You know, if your life is difficult, what difference does it make if a dog understands you? It's not going to help you in any way. What, it's going to put its little paw on your leg? Oh, how is that going to help you? What really bugged me about the article in the Time magazine was this. When we are upset, dogs come over and try to offer some sort of comfort, people speculate. They can't do that much, but neither can we do that much. Usually, if we see somebody upset, we go and give them a hug. That's about all we can do. Bullshit! There is so much more you can do. You can ask a person, how are you feeling? How are you coping? Do you need to talk? You can listen to the person. You can provide feedback. You can reminisce about the dead person if someone died. Oh, I remember this about that person. I remember that about that person. Share your experiences. You can share your own experience of grief with the person. You can talk. Dogs can't talk. You know, you can bring your friend a lasagna because they're so grief-stricken they can't cook for themselves. You can bring food over to your friend. You can help them with housework. You can babysit their children. You can run errands for them, pick up groceries for them. You can bring them out for a drive. You can go for a walk with them. You can buy them a gift. There's so much you can do that dogs cannot do. How stupid to put that in an article. This is ridiculous. A dog provides nothing. Anything people think they get from their dog is imaginary. You can get it from a stuffed animal if you are imaginative enough. You can bring a dog for a walk, sure, but I guarantee that that dog would rather be off its leash, running after some scent it caught whiff of. It would rather be chasing after something with other dogs. It doesn't want to be held prisoner in your house. Oh, It doesn't want to be confined to a leash. It doesn't want a collar around it. It doesn't want you to exert control over every single aspect of its life. Dog ownership is so immoral. It's just so wrong. Why can't people see this? Why can't people see how cruel it is to own a dog? And why can't people see how utterly deranged dog worshippers are? Look at this. My baby doggy wants to bite someone. I love her. It's just everywhere you look. I am bombarded with stuff like this that shows me so clearly that these people are mentally ill. And we are the minority. How is this possible? How is it not evident to everyone that this is a severe mental disorder? But dogs provide nothing. They don't love us. They don't care about us. What on earth is a dog going to do for you when you're going through a hard time? It doesn't understand what you're saying. It doesn't understand the source of your stress. It's not going to help you in any way. It can't do anything. So why is it so important for people to receive this empathy from dogs, or the supposed empathy, or to believe that dogs have empathy? I just don't get it. You know, you look at these websites that talk about this study, they show a little video of the human fake crying behind the glass, behind the glass door. No human would ever empathize with such fakery and lying. But it does appear to interest the dogs more than the humming. Oh, wow. Oh, the dogs are so kind and empathetic. Give me a break. Another interpretation of the faster response with the fake crying is that, it could be interpreted by the dog as having a similar rhythm to a human offering a treat. Oh, do you want a treat? Oh, do you want to have a little bit? Do you want a milk bone? Who knows what meaning it has to a dog? We don't know. Dogs aren't human. Their brains are so different to ours. It is ridiculous to make any comparison between humans and dogs. It looks to me as if these researchers are interpreting way too much here. It's like the range of dog behaviors are interpreted as loyalty and love and, whatever, when they could mean almost anything. But these people are just jumping to these conclusions. And, at the end of the study, it says that more research is needed. More research is needed. Yeah, well, no shit, because this doesn't prove anything. When I have gone through hard times in life, I have never, ever had the thought that I just wish a member of another species would understand me. I've never thought if only a pig or a porcupine or a squirrel would open the door and empathize with me. The whole concept is so completely idiotic. Why are people wasting their time trying to prove that dogs have empathy when we live amongst human beings that we know for a fact do feel empathy? Why not invest your time and your energy into those relationships with human beings that can actually understand you and have a two-way conversation with you? Human relationships are infinitely more rewarding than any relationship you will ever have with a dog. And I've got a video coming up for you very soon about emotional support dogs. This whole concept is so completely ridiculous. So I just wanted to make a quick video about this magazine today. And I would really like to know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you soon, guys. I hope you're all doing well. The future is dog-free.